Welcome, Badass Manifester. I am so glad you are here. I'm your host and head coach, Ashley Gordon, master mindset and manifestation biz expert, founder of the Quantum Coaching certification, and multiple six-figure entrepreneur obsessed with empowering you to create quantum leaps in your energy, your life, and your business. This is the show to help you make magic your everyday normal, where the ripple effect is real and the guest experts are world class. My mission is to power your conscious and subconscious mind with manifestation teachings, business tools, and coaching techniques to put your potential into action. Consider this your weekly up level. Are you ready for quantum transformation? Let's do this. All right. Welcome, Kate. So pumped to have this conversation. I feel like this is a topic that is going to be just blowing people's minds.
I hope so. That's my goal.
Yes. So fill us in a little bit on your journey of how you have, like, when did you start your business, how you've built it to where you are, and yeah, just share a little bit more about yourself. I know you're a mom. I know that you're a business owner. Like, fill us in.
Yes. Okay. So I am a mom. I've got almost 3 and almost 5-year-old. And I have been self-employed since 2010. So 13 years now. But I've had kind of like 3 businesses during that time. So I started out actually as a journalist, and I was freelance, and I was a food and travel writer, and like spent my 20s getting paid to eat at the best restaurants around the world and then write about them. It was an amazing life.
That's like, I think that's like almost everyone's dream.
Yeah, it was definitely a dream job. But as I started entering my 30s, I was like, I don't really know how I could do this and have a family. And I had some health issues cropping up. And so long story short, I decided to start a blog instead. And it felt like kind of a natural progression from like print media to where the landscape was going. And so I started a holistic health and wellness blog in 2015. And I turned that into a 6-figure business fairly quickly. And people started asking me like, how the heck are you doing this? I had no idea bloggers could actually make money. And so I launched a course called the 6-Figure Blog Academy. And the more that I started coaching people in that program, the more I wanted to do that, and kind of felt like I had said what I wanted to say about holistic health and wellness in general. And so I actually ended up selling that blog for a couple 6 figures as well in 2021.
No way. That's amazing.
Yeah. Who knew you could also sell a blog? You can make blogging and you can sell it.
I was just going to say that. That's unbelievable. I have questions about that later. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So I did that. And during that time, I had started working with all different kinds of online entrepreneurs. And like I said, I just was absolutely loving being in that coaching space. But of course, I had no coaching experience. I just really was more of a consultant to start, and was just helping with the strategy, which is obviously important. But what I realized on all of the calls was that what people had questions about really wasn't the strategy. It was all the mind trash and just the, energy and mindset that they were bringing to their business and getting in their own way and self-sabotaging and all of that. So I felt a little ill-equipped to do that. So I found QCA and got certified technically last year, this year, I don't know what, in the last year.
Yeah, in the last year.
Last year. And I ended up retiring some of the courses that I was doing with blogging, because I really started seeing that blogging was a beautiful, amazing, sustainable way to attract leads and grow your email list and get clients. But I could make a lot more money if I actually sold an offer of my own. And so I was teaching people, instead of how to just do like the traditional blogging method, it was like how to use your blog to get clients to sell your own offer. So whether it was a course or a membership or mastermind or,
super niche, super niche.
Yeah. Yeah. So, so that's what I do now. We have a couple programs. One is the Successful Soul Incubator, and that's our business mastermind. And then we also have kind of like a life coaching, self-care subscription called the Successful Soul Membership. It's just like a gym membership for your soul.
Oh my gosh. I love that so much. And what a journey that kind of all connects, right? It's just so interesting to look back and to say, wow, that led me to this, led me to this, led me to this. And look at you now. So amazing. And so cool that you could sell a blog. That's unbelievable. How do you sell a blog?
I didn't know that this was possible either until I was in a mastermind in 2020. And I was saying how I kind of wanted to do more of the coaching and less of the blogging. And that, it's like, how do I just walk away from this business? I mean, it's doing so well and it seems crazy. And somebody was like, well, you sell it. I'm like, what are you talking about? And it turns out like there's a whole world of buying and selling websites that I had no idea about. And so it did take me 9 months to sell it, but this is like such a cool story because in 9 months, I had no offers and I was getting really discouraged and was like, this is never going to happen. I should just, give up, walk away. And I really had like a come to Jesus moment and just got my mind around it and was like, planned that, okay, if I don't sell it by the end of the year, then I am going to just walk away from the business and just like collect what I can collect with doing nothing. But I just kind of detached from the outcome and really got my mind right around it. And then I got 3 offers in a week. And
wow.
So I did use a broker.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. I'm sure having a blog broker is a thing or a website broker, but that is so what I was hearing as you were sharing that was like, you just surrendered. You were like, whatever, I'm just going to make what I can and it's out there. And if someone wants to buy it, great. And if not, I'm cool with it. I'm done.
Yeah. I had a lot of ego wrapped up in like, I really wanted to sell it for $1 million and then that wasn't happening. And so it wasn't even like close to happening. Right. And then one of my friends actually gave me this kind of pep talk that was like, most people, when they want to do something else in their career, like they just walk away and do something else. Like you're literally, even if you only get paid $50, like somebody is paying you to try something new. And, it was like, oh yeah. So any money would be amazing and really unusual. Like, I'm just going to be grateful for whatever I can get. And,
talk about a reframe.
Right.
So cool. So cool. And I'm obviously love that you were part of QCA. It was so amazing to have you there because it was you kind of brought this like whole conversation around consulting versus coaching.
Yeah.
And the power of both and the difference that it makes when you have the skill set to coach and consult at the same time. And it's just like very inspiring, I think, for our students, because a lot of people come into the program, brand new. They don't even know anything about the business at all.
Yeah.
And you were already pretty established in your business. You had come from another business. You had sold your blog. Like you were in the game already.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious if you could share how that has impacted your business and your programs.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because I do feel like every call I had questions about how do I stop being such a problem solver and giving people the answer, but also sometimes that's what they want. And they're, there for both the strategy and the coaching. So yeah. Okay. The question is, how do I manage that in my business?
Or how has it impacted your coaching containers, bringing in the coaching piece, mixing it and pairing it with the consulting?
Yeah. Okay. So one thing that I did when I launched the incubator, which was 2 years ago now, was I really wanted to create like a hybrid coaching program where I didn't want it. I've been in masterminds and other coaching where there is no strategy and you're just kind of coming in and like working on whatever's coming up for you. But if you have like, logistical questions, there's like no real answer. Like, find it within yourself. I'm like, okay,
Right.
but seriously. So,
I can relate to that. Yes.
yes. So I wanted to create something that had the like training, and then when you came and asked questions, sometimes I could direct you back to the training or say like, as you remember in the portal or in this module. So we have a portal that has modules on everything from like SEO to email marketing to, you know, just like creating your business plan and your first offer and all of that. And that's really where more of the strategy piece comes in. And then on the live calls is where we're doing like coaching on mindset and energy and all of those types of things. And it's been great to see that there's way less strategy questions that come up now. And it is so much more just like, I'm stuck and here's what's happening in my brain.
That's amazing. It's so cool to be able to have both. And I feel like, and I tell potential students that are looking into, you know, the program of like, this will add value to your strategy. This will add, like when you have a container or a program or a mastermind where you are giving direct strategy, which I do believe serves a huge purpose. And I'm so glad you have that in the incubator because they go hand in hand. Being able to help someone develop their business and develop their mindset and their energy, like they go so well together. And I feel like those are your offers, like your membership is like that soulful vibe, feminine energy. And then the incubator is like this, like, I'll guide you and I'll coach you.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. It's very like strategy meets soul. And and we have like soul sessions every month where we're also just doing different, like we'll have breath work or we'll do EFT, or like I just did a hypnosis yesterday, and like just different things where it's like, they're not necessarily coming to ask questions and get coached, but we're doing things to help them like release or receive.
Yes. And you're making it really experiential, which I feel like is the secret sauce for so many coaching containers. It's like, how do you get massive transformation for your clients? You give them an experience.
Yes, totally. Yeah, I think I had over 800 clients go through some of my self-study courses. And like, while I loved how easy it was to deliver a self-study course, I felt like I started seeing that the only people that got results were the ones who were just like powerhouses, and like they didn't need a whole lot of support or hand holding. And most people aren't like that. Most people do like get stuck and then they start procrastinating, or they're just like, I don't know where to go from here, so I'm just going to do nothing, or they're in that analysis paralysis. And I just was like, I feel like we need that experience to help people actually get results.
Amen to that. And so I know you're listening, and I know you heard the intro to this episode where we talked about how, yes, Kate builds her business and has scaled her business off of social media. And so you're listening that she has all these programs and she fills them and she has a ton of clients and she has a beautiful business. And yet she's not exactly using social media or her Instagram to fill her cohorts with students. So let's dive in, because I was so excited to learn how you do this. It's so inspiring. And like, what made you want to do that? Like your whole story behind it, how you transitioned off of social media and all the things.
Yeah. Okay. I love it. This is like my favorite topic. So, I did quit all social media 100% in 2021. So I have not been on anything, for coming on, a year and a half, almost 2 years now. So I say that because I have continued to grow my business. In that same period, my business has grown 165%. So like it is possible. And I did have some social media presence before I did that. So I just share that, not because I think you need to, like, if anything, this is proof that you don't need to, but I know some people might then like look at my Instagram and be like, well, I see that you were posting before. And what I'll say about that is I was posting very infrequently. I hated every second of it. I just, even as a blogger who, you know, felt like I was sometimes an influencer in some ways, and that was like, you have to be on social. I barely did anything there too. I just didn't enjoy it. And I would go through phases where I would try new strategies and new things. And then sometimes it would work for a little bit, sometimes it wouldn't. I just, you know, it's the typical like comparison, and not even like, I even hired it out sometimes. It was just like, I hate it, I'm just going to have somebody else do it for me, and they would do a great job, but I still was mentally like, well, how many likes did this get, how many comments, like how many people clicked through, and like caring about those totally meaningless vanity metrics just made me crazy. And for me, now I know plenty of people who love social media and it works wonderfully for them. But for me, it never really did what I needed it to do, which was get me clients. And so, and drive traffic back to my website. You know, the platform is designed to keep you there. So after a lot of back and forth and this love-hate, well, mostly hate relationship with social, I just decided in around Thanksgiving of 2021, like, you know what, I am just going to try 30 days of nothing and see what happens. Wow. And so it wasn't meant to be like a forever thing, but it has ended up becoming that. And I'm always like, never say never. Maybe I'll get back on one day, but I have no intention to at this point. And it's been really cool to see, like, I don't need it.
Wow. I feel like people listening right now are probably, their mouths are open and they're like, wait, what?
What?
Oh, because I think so many business coaches, so many, and I don't know if this is in your program, but so many talk about social media.
Oh yeah.
Getting out there, getting visible, having a presence on social media, your content planning, your content this, your content that. And it's exhausting. Yeah, it totally is. I mean, I also have a love-hate relationship. And I feel like just since having my baby, I'm off it way more than I was because I'm present with him and I don't want to be on it. Like, yes, I'm taking pictures of him all day long and I'm posting some, but like, I don't have that. I have the desire to like live more privately in a way.
Yes, me too. That was a huge part of it too. I think having kids and feeling like it's funny. I read this mystery novel. It was like some psychological thriller. And the main character was an influencer, and it's silly because this is like, you know, it was fictional, but basically like she gets murdered because she was posting things on social and people were able to find her and figure out what was going on and all this stuff. And so not that I think you're going to get murdered if you're on social, but it just kind of gave me this like, oh my God, people can figure out so much about you from like seemingly totally innocent posts where you're just like at the beach today and, you know, whatever it is. And so it not so much as a safety thing, but it was just more of this like privacy of like, I don't want people to know that much about me. And I certainly don't want them to know that kind of stuff about my kids.
I completely hear you on that. And it freaks me out thinking about it. It's so interesting how there's that piece of it, right? There's the safety piece of it and like the privacy piece of it, and being more present with your family. And that's like a huge driving factor, I know, for you and for me. And I think that some people can't see a way out of it. Yeah. They think it's like they have to do it.
Yeah. That's what I hear constantly is like, no, but I have to be there. Like, but everybody says you should be there. And I'm always like, who cares? Like, it's your business. You can do it however you want. And like, everything works. Figure out what works for you. And you know, there are other ways to grow an audience and get clients outside of social. And so you can have, you know, a lesser relationship with it. You can have no relationship with it like I do, which is really great. Or if you love it and like it's bringing you nothing but joy and clients, like go for it.
I'm just making notes as you're talking of like, yes, grow your audience outside of social. That's a great subject. I love that so much. Like it's so true. Okay. Yeah. So making that transition, what came up for you? Were you afraid that people would forget about you? Were you afraid that it wouldn't work? Like, what was there fear there for you?
Not really. There was more relief there for me with the experiment because it was like, if it doesn't work, it's 30 days. Like, I'm not going to disappear from the universe in 30 days. So I didn't have as much of that fear. And I also, like I said, like I was barely doing anything on it as it was. So I didn't feel like, wow, this is going to go from me like being on stories 10 times a day to just like radio silence. Like I haven't really been doing much anyway. So it didn't feel like maybe as big of a jump.
Okay. That's good to know. So what was your game plan? Like, how were you going to fill your programs? How were you filling your programs? Like, if you weren't using social media, what were you doing?
Yeah. Okay. So the short answer is SEO and ads. And what I'll say is we were just talking about how we have used the same ads manager. And she would always say to me, I don't understand where your clients are coming from because they, only like 20% are coming from ads and you're not on social. Like, where are the other 80% coming from? It was like SEO. It is all about organic search traffic. And, I can go into that in more detail, but that's the short answer is just SEO.
Wow. I think SEO is a big question mark for a lot of people. We hear about it. We know it's important to some level. And, if you have a website, you should have optimized SEO. I know my team and I have been talking about SEO because we just like kind of revamped our website, but we didn't really know what we were doing. We were just like, I think these keywords will work. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could go into more detail, like so people are searching certain keywords and they're finding your website.
Yeah. So in simplest terms, SEO would be somebody is typing something into Google and your website shows up as one of the results and then they click on it. And what's great about that is, well, there's several things, but the first is like social media and even ads too. It's all interruptive marketing, meaning they're doing something else and then you're interrupting their scroll, you're interrupting like whatever their other activity is and saying, oh, hey, what about this? And so then you have to grab their attention and they may or may not be interested. Whereas if they're searching for something, these are like your hottest leads. These are the people who are like, I'm actively looking for what you have. And so you don't have to sell as hard. The like nurture process is so much easier. So there's so many great things about kind of that, just how they're coming to you. And then again, it's like, especially thinking about like some of the principles from QCA, like this is true allowing clients to come to you instead of like forcing and like convincing by going to them all the time. So I love like that you can really just kind of sit back and let it work for you.
That is such a good point. I love, love, love that. How they're really searching it out. They're really coming from that like true desire, and it's not going to be interrupted because that's their goal. Their main goal is to like go on Google and search for something that can help them.
Right. Exactly.
I remember what I was going to say before about social media. And that was, I wonder when people find you from Google, if they click on your Instagram and they want to see how many followers you have, like, do you feel like that has impacted your ability to convert clients? Because I don't remember how many followers you have on Instagram.
Yeah. I want to say it's somewhere around 7,000 maybe.
Okay. Right. So you're not an Instagram celebrity.
No, I'm not an Instagram celebrity. This is an account that I've had since like Instagram came out. So it's like, this is when I was a journalist. I used this account and actually I had a different account for my blog, but like this account has been around for a long time. So it's also like, who even knows where half these people came from. And what we decided to do though, was I knew that people are going to look at my Instagram, and you want people to see like you're a real person and this business still exists. And so we basically thought of our like Instagram grid as like our portfolio or as our website. So like the last post on there is something like, grow to 6 figures without social media. And then the caption says something like, this probably makes no sense because here I am on social media, but look at the date on this post and you'll see that like, I'm not here. So this is my welcome mat. It's not where I hang out. Here's where you can come hang out with me. And so we created, a series of posts that would just kind of serve that purpose of like, here's who I am, here's who we help, here's how you can actually work with me or get free resources. And then that just lives there forever.
That is genius. Love that. Because you knew people were going to do that. People are going to click on your Instagram or whatever, Facebook, mainly Instagram. And they're like, wait, is this girl like, what's her deal? And then
is this business still around? What's happening? Yeah.
Right. How successful is this business? Why should I learn from you? It's like, how do you establish your authority without that platform?
Right. Yeah. And I think it's really through your website and and making sure that you have, and SEO, a lot of people might think like, well, I don't want to be a blogger, or I'm not a good writer or something like that. To which I would say 2 things. ChatGPT.
Yes.
And really SEO can be blogging, podcasting, YouTube, like choose your platform of choice. But the beauty of that is like, unlike Instagram, that resets essentially like every 24 hours, like every day you got to show up with something new to stay visible and relevant. And even then, most of your followers aren't going to see your posts. But with blogging, podcasting, YouTube, like those things live forever. The shelf life is so much longer. And with SEO, like Google rewards longevity. And so sometimes the older a post is, it needs to stay updated so that it doesn't become out of date. Mm-hmm. But the more traffic, like it builds your SEO juice essentially. And so like we have posts that especially when I had my other blog, my health blog, I had a post that was like, I wrote 3 or 4 years ago, and it still earned me like $5,000 a month because people searched that keyword, landed on my post. We had it monetized with affiliate links, and it just consistently earned us that money every month. And when the pandemic first hit, it was a meat delivery service roundup of like where to get organic meat. And so everybody was searching like food delivery, and we made $50,000 in 3 months from this post that I wrote 3 years ago. It was crazy.
Wow.
Like you can't do that with social media.
No, you're so right. Oh my gosh. Okay. So many more questions are coming through my brain. Okay. So do you write blog posts for your business now?
Yes.
On your website?
Yes.
Okay. And that's the number one way that you drive SEO?
Yeah. And I have a podcast as well. And so we do podcasts and blog posts, and the podcast episodes each get a blog post that we optimize with keywords and like have the transcript. And so it's not just, like a quick blurb and then here's the link to the podcast. Like it's a full blog post that people can find by searching something. So we use both. And then for my podcast, we also record the video. So we post it to YouTube, and then we embed the YouTube in there. So like we're hitting, and this is another thing I love about SEO is like, okay, so we just hit 3 formats, 3 platforms, and I only had to do one
piece of content.
Yes.
Wow.
So good.
I feel lit up from that. That is so good. That is so good. So smart. Okay. So people listening right now, we're not saying get rid of social media. We're saying, Kate's saying that there's just other ways that create even more longevity for your content, for your visibility, and to build the authority. Because if you search something in Google and you come up a million times, you're like, oh, there's something to this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what would you say, like, when did you get in? Have you always been into SEO because of your blogging background? Is that how you knew about it?
Yeah. I mean, when I first started blogging in 2015, I didn't even know what SEO meant. So I started with no background knowledge of this. And I just learned from 6 years of running the blog how to drive organic traffic to the site. And like I said, it was just like, and you even said this too when I was talking about kind of my journey, is like everything's been like an iteration of the previous thing. And I just kind of have followed like what, and this sounds cheesy, but like what my heart was leading me to next. And so with the blog, it was like, okay, I learned how to drive traffic, and I used to drive traffic to sell other people's stuff, which is great. But if I sold my own thing, holy cow, like this just blew wide open. And like, I don't need to play the volume game. And like, I had to have, hundreds of thousands of page views a month with the blog to make multiple six figures. If I'm selling my own offer, like my website now, Kordsmeier.com, we only have like 2,000 to 5,000 page views a month, but we're making twice as much money. So
because it's your product.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, this is so good. So, for example, you have a free event coming up, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. So whenever we launch QCA, we have a free event too. And we use social media to drive traffic to that free event. That is like probably the number one way, plus ads.
Yeah.
So you're not even really running ads right now, right?
So I just turned on an ad yesterday for the free event. And so we'll see. But I have not been running ads for the last like 6-ish months. And my ad strategy has always been a little like start, stop, and trying new things. And then, I change like, okay, I'm not selling this course anymore. Now I'm doing this thing. And so then we have to start over.
Right.
So yeah, ads have definitely been a part of my strategy, but like SEO has been the consistent thing.
So how do you plan to fill your free event from SEO?
Yeah. So mostly it's not necessarily filling it like by putting a blog post up about it, but it's that we're driving traffic to the website where then the website is promoting the event, and we're using our email list. So we have several thousand people on the email list. So it's like we're promoting it there. We're going to run an ad, see if we can get some cold traffic to it. But yeah, I won't be posting anything on social.
And something else you didn't mention that I'll mention for you is you are utilizing affiliates.
Yes. And that was yes. Thank you for saying that. Yeah. Affiliates and partnerships and referrals, like those that's like the second piece of, after SEO, it's using other people's audiences and getting them to promote for you and building those relationships.
So good. So much good information. And I'm assuming that you have a lot of this inside of the program, the incubator, right?
Yeah, this is like the whole thing that we teach. Like, okay, this sounds cool. How do I actually do this? And that's that's the strategy piece of the incubator.
Wow. It's actually how to do this. And I feel like so many people listening might also feel really lit up by this, because I know a lot of people come through to me. They want to learn how to coach, right? As the first step, they want to learn how to coach so then they can feel confident putting themselves out there and getting people inside of their programs. And when they come to me, a lot of people say, I have no desire to show up on social media. I have no desire to put myself out there in that way. And it scares me because I feel like if I don't do that, then I won't be able to have a coaching business. I have a good friend who she's naturally an amazing coach. She wants to do QCA. She wants to like be a coach for someone else's program so she doesn't have to put herself out there. And I'm like, no, there's other ways to build your business without having to like share your life 24/7 on social media.
Yes.
So this is really it.
Yeah. 1,000%. Like tell your friend about the incubator, because that's exactly like we're working with. Now, if you like social media, you can still join the incubator. Like we still have plenty of things to help you, and SEO can be a complement to what you're doing on social, right? But we don't teach any social in the program. So like if you're coming in and want to say like, okay, well, what do I need to post on Instagram? I'm like, I don't know. You got to figure that out somewhere else. But what I'll tell you is I would prioritize other things in your business over that and think that you'll have much more sustainable success.
Yeah. Yeah. Sustainable success. Such a good like phrase for that. And so let's talk about your free event, because I want everyone to go to it and learn from you and learn how to do this, because I really do feel like you just said, it's so sustainable. Like once you have if you already have a coaching certification and you're like, I'm really freaking good at what I do, and I know I'm good at what I do, and now I just need to get in front of more people. I need to build my audience.
Mm-hmm.
How can they do that? Like let's talk about your event and what you're sharing in that.
Yeah, thanks. Okay. So yes, we're hosting a free 4-day challenge live. Starts April 24th, 2023, if you're listening to this live. And it's called From Certified to Six Figures. And it's the 4 components to building a sustainable coaching business. So each day we're going live talking about one of the components. There's going to be homework to do after each day. And so you'll actually like get results and leave with something tangible from the challenge. And so, yeah, if you're certified, great. If you're not certified yet, you're still welcome to come. Certified to Six Figures is just catchy marketing. So
love it. I love it.
Yeah. So if you're interested in building a coaching business, come to the event.
Come to the event. Okay, cool. So the link to the event will be in the show notes, and we have the link, right? It's Kate Kordsmeier. Go ahead.
Yeah. katekordsmeier.com/badass. And I know my last name is a little bit hard to spell, so you can click the links, but it's KORDSMEIER.
Yeah. Love that. So good. I felt like I have like 10 more questions for you, but we'll save it maybe for another episode.
Part 2. Yeah.
Part 2. Yeah. I admire your business model so much. I admire your growth, and who you are and how you show up as a coach and a human. I mean, I got to know you through QCA, so I know how I don't know, you're amazing. You have a beautiful energy, and I'm excited for people to get to know you more. And I highly recommend going to the link, signing up for the free event. And if you are looking for a program to help you grow your coaching business in a way that maybe you did not think was possible, book into the incubator. Like, yeah. I'm sure you do. Do you do applications and sales calls?
Yeah, so we do an application process, and we have 2 cohorts. So it's a 6-month program. So if you're listening to this not in real time, or you've missed the challenge, just go to katekordsmeier.com/waitlist and get on our wait list. You'll get $500 off enrollment too if you join the wait list. So there's a couple other perks there. And yeah, we would love to have you.
Awesome. And if you do want to check out Kate's Instagram as her welcome mat, where can they find that? Just in case they want to like stalk you out a little.
Yeah. At Kate Kordsmeier. So yeah, very, very simple. And yeah, check it out. Let me know what you think.
Yeah. I mean, you grew your business off of social media 165%. That speaks volumes.
And it felt so good.
Yes. So awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing your insight with us, your knowledge with us. And yeah, tag us. Let us know what you think about this episode. Well, tag me. Don't tag Kate. You can tag her if you want. I just want with fun. She just won't repost it. Yeah. I love this. It's like funny. It's kind of cool. But yeah, let me know what you think about this episode. Check out all of Kate's links, all the things. And yeah, I can't wait for you guys to learn how to grow your business off of social media and know that is possible. Kate, thank you so much for being here.
Oh my gosh, thank you for having me. I loved it.
It was so fun. All right, everyone. Talk to you next week. Bye. Woo! We did some work today. Thank you so much for listening. You know I love my BAM fam. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who you know would love it too, because we live for the ripple effect over here. And how can you best support the show? Make sure you're subscribed, hit the 5 stars, and leave a review on iTunes, and let me know how the podcast has impacted you. I love being part of your real-time journey, so screenshot the episode and tag me and my guests on Instagram at Manifest with Ash. Now say it with me. I am my own power source. I am the master of my own energy, and I deserve everything that I desire. We don't just talk about it over here, we be about it. Now go get 'em.